Today we are property developers out to build an empire in the midst of a citywide property boom as we take a look at Magnate, the first city. Snap up land, build, attract tenants and start earning the big bucks. But watch out, that city will grow, more opportunities open up, but at some point that market boom will turn to bust in the endgame market crash. Now this is medium complexity, plays 1 to 5, takes about 90 to 120 minutes, and we can see the designer and publisher. So let's go and make our fortunes. Okay, here we have a 2-player setup and the city in the middle that has a load of buildings. We've got offices, we've got commercial, we have got these homes and industry. Now, this is the sort of standard edition. A load of these you can have the advanced one, which I'd highly recommend, but just for simplicity in this video, just keeping to the standard game, but they can all flip over and there's a host of unique retail locations and students and families rather than just generic homes. So we have neighborhoods then, and we've set it up. You see the arrows going out. You got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 6 neighborhoods, and you are going to be firstly bidding for turn order, because bidding first means you can buy this land first and you can have first dibs on attaining some of these tenants that are just kind of stacked up above this property market board here. You'll then be trying to actually attract tenants and collect rent before undertaking your actions. And this is all nicely displayed just on here. And you can see, you know, it goes through all the various actions you'll be doing. And that consists of buying land, you can build, advertise, consult, sell land, a host of things before we go over to the property market here. And we undertake a load of things which will increase potentially the risks of a market crash. You can see we start over here and prices are going to fluctuate, but we'll go over all that as we play through the game. And then you'll kind of see who has the most money for the win, being the sort of tycoon property developer. So let's kick off then. I have got a lot of components out of camera view. There's loads of great components, but essentially we've got Greyfield here today, and we have Penforth Davy, if I've said that right. Okay, so they're out of camera view, and they are going to be starting with a load of these sort of tokens. These are going to represent your developments. They can stack nicely in some of the buildings as well. You've got a load of money. You've got 2 million to start, and you've got 4 advertisement tokens, which you can see here, and they've got numbers. You can sort of fix the outcomes of what you require to hopefully get tenants. And we've got this nice little digger for the starting player. So let's just say Greyfield are up, and they are going to be starting the bidding. So you can see on the round tracker here, we're over to turn order, which is dictated by bidding. So the first player is like, right, yeah, 100 grand. Second player is, no, too much for me, they're passing. Now in a bigger player game, obviously someone goes 100, someone passes, 200, keeps going until you got a winner, and they pay that money back to the supply, and then they take this and they're starting play. And as I said, that's crucial because in the next phase, they're going to get to attract tenants. And obviously, no one has actually got any buildings out there to be attracting tenants. So we'll come back around to that on the next sort of round. So we're over to our actions. So you can see we're going to move this along. We're not attracting tenants. First action then, what can we do? So we can buy land. Now in the setup, you can see there's a load of these for sale symbols. In the 2-player game here, there's 6 that have been brought out. And I'll go through all these various locations as we play through the game. So firstly, are they going to buy land? Probably, because they can't build and they maybe aren't worried about advertising just yet or consulting, and they haven't got anything to sell. So we're going to buy some land. Now we're looking at these locations. There's 2 here, and we've got this nice sort of car park with what's probably a supermarket there. So we're thinking, okay, if we build here, we're probably going to want to go build some commercial, because this is going to give us a bump up in the value of building. You know, next to that one, we've got possibly we want to build here, and we've got a nice little park that our sort of residents would be very impressed with. Up here is actually a negative to be building a home next to this sort of cargo, you know, industry area here. Whereas if you build your industry, great, that's what they're after. And we can see up here we've got some sort of playground and forest. So maybe we're going to go for this location here because we've got these two benefits, and that'll make a lot of sense surely. But firstly, we're going to buy. So how much is this land going to cost us then? So we're looking at the land price, and it starts off with this little S here. You can see it's going to be 300k. So we'll literally pay 300k, and you're supposed to keep all your money secret in these sort of wallets here. So 300k, boom, we've paid that to the bank. Now we are going to take this, where do we go? We went for this location. We remove that for sale sign, and we place one of our development tokens there to show we now have acquired that land. You've done an action, so it goes clockwise. The next player goes, and they are like, okay, I'm equally going to buy some land, and maybe they're going to go down here. Let's do it. So they're going to build here, and again, they're going to pay 300,000, so they take that one off, and they pay the money, and they pop one of their development tokens on. Okay, so everyone has done their first action. Over to the second action then. And we keep going clockwise. So Greyfield are thinking, right, I need to build something. I need to start attracting tenants on the next round. I need to start getting rental income, because that's how you are going to increase your funds to build further stuff and then hopefully sell at the right time. So let's go and build then. Now it's probably beneficial for us to build residential there. So we're going to go and take a house. Now what's the cost of these and what can you build? So we've got this here, which again, standard game. You can see we can build homes. We've got houses, apartment buildings. And you can see on the board already we've got some large apartments here, office blocks, some industry and commercial there. So we're going to go and build a house. It's got a capacity of 1, which will make no sense at the moment, but we'll go through that shortly. But it's more importantly going to cost us 400k. So we pay that money to the supply, and we can put a house here. Now you can play with just putting houses out there, or you can take a blueprint, which we are going to do. So I'll grab one of these, and you can see this blueprint here. It's got the image on the back, and it just, you know, has a bit of thematicness there. So we'll plonk that on there, put our house on that location. But the houses don't have a little spot to put your development tokens. You can see some of these got these nice little spots to store them in, but the houses themselves just sort of keep it next to it. So we've bought something. That was our go. Done. Over to the next player, and they're probably going to buy as well. So, or maybe they want to get the land before their opponent. So maybe they want to buy this one here. So they're going to go and take this one. They're going to put one of their tokens down, and again they pay 300k based on the current land price. Now you can buy land that is adjacent to your current holdings. For example, if these guys wanted to buy this one, only because there's no for sale sign there, you typically have to buy where the for sale plots are. But if you want to buy something adjacent, you can. It's just going to cost you double the price. So that'd be 600,000 for them to acquire one of these plots, and then they'd just put this on here. Now that's important because it's giving you options that maybe, because there's a bit of pot luck as to what plots come available from round to round as you place more of these out. So there might be certain locations that you really want to grab early on in the game. Okay, where were we? So everyone has done their second action. We're going to move this over to the third action. What else can we do? So maybe we want to go and consult. We just want to get a bit of money. These guys are like, yeah, I will consult. And you literally, for consulting, you look at the current land price, which is 300k, and you take that money from the supply and add it. So, yep, they've added 300k. The next player is thinking, yes, I have to build here. Okay, so we're going to go and build. Now, what are we going to go for? So if we go for a commercial property, we can see we've got a bonus here, which will help us when we roll dice, which all makes sense during the attracting tenants phase. But now, I should have probably looked at this earlier, but you can see when you're attracting tenants, it depends on how many sort of homes are there. So if you want to build homes, they're interested in commercial and offices, and the lowest of those is going to dictate, you know, how many dice you're rolling, and the outcomes will mean you're actually attracting tenants. You can see offices and retail are all about having residents nearby. Industry is reliant on either industry or residents as well, your workforce, or, you know, your capacity to get other, you know, suppliers to provide, you know, various things for your industry required there. So bear that in mind. So yeah, we're going to go and build a commercial, but can I afford it? Let's have a look. So we can see a retail unit is going to cost us 1.2 million, but we can have up to 2 tenants in there. So we're going to go and build a retail unit. So we take the location, so you can see this one's got this nice little miniature here. We're going to look for blueprint, footprint. We place that here, and we then pop our development token in there. Lovely. Okay, so everyone has done their third action. We now go to the property market. Now in the first round, it says don't add any risk cards. So you typically work from 1 to 4, and I'll go through this more so in the second round, but it's adding these cards, which I'll kind of show you one here. These cards, and you're going to flip them, and there's going to be influences on the crash track here, but no one's sold. No one's used advertising tokens yet, which is why it's a little bit unfair. So just ignore that in the first round. So we're prepped for the next round. And what we do is we bring out 2 of these new tenant cards. So I've got a big stash of them on the side. And basically we're going to reveal these, and they're going to add new tenants. So for the basic game, which is what we're playing, we're going to take 3 of the home symbols. Let me go and grab some of those. And then we stash those at the top, just here, just out of view. If you were playing the advanced game, you'd add some students, which we're not doing. And we've got 3 more homes as well adding. So I'm going to add those to the top. And then we are adding, you can see just here, 3 more for sale signs. Now in a 2-player game, you can see this board is unique to that player count. There's various boards, so it really scales well from player count to player count. So we're going to go in, randomly choose. I've got a big stash, so we've got 3 more of these. So you turn them over. We've got number 2, so we can see this number here 2. We look where F is. It's this location here, which has already been pre-built. So we're going to just take that out of the game. We don't replenish that one. Next one, 4B. Where are we? Number 4's down here, and B. So we can place that one on that plot of land. And I've accidentally got a 0, which I should have took out. So we'll grab another one. Here we go. So this one is 4. Geez, we've got loads of activity down here. So in terms of these neighbourhoods then, they're all kind of isolated, but they're connected to other neighbourhoods, which will make sense when I do various tenant activities shortly. But you can see these various locations that have pre-built, destinations on there and various things we've gone through. You can't purchase them and you can't put for sale signs on them. All right, that's literally around. We go back and we're going to determine turn order. So the player who was first last time passes this digger over, and that clockwise, and that player is now going to start the bidding. So they're like, right, where am I? Penforth Davy rep. And we can see they're kind of around this location. No land has become available. Do they really want to go first? There's a lot of nice stuff going on here. Maybe they're going to go 100,000. So you go up in 100,000 increments. The other guys are like, I've just spent a load of money doing this. I'm going to pass. So they paid 100,000. They are first player. And we just carry on really. So attracting tenants this time. So they've got this location, and basically they've got no tenants. You can see the city centre in the middle. It's got loads of sort of pre-set up tenants by these little sort of population symbols. You can see just here, that one's got 1 for the homes. So we want to try and attract tenants. So these guys currently have a commercial property. Now you'd work through all your properties first that had capacity. So the one we built here then, we can see, if I grab this one here, that our retail unit has a capacity of 2. Now a retail unit is going to be determined by how much residency is in the area. And we're going to need pairs of 5 or better to be able to take one of these residents, which just out of camera view, you can see these retail ones here. So we're going to add up all of the population on connected neighbourhoods for residency. So we can see no one's built here and no one's built here. So we're looking at the city centre, which is why it's connected everywhere to give you a nice little head start. So we've got 3, 6. So we're going to be getting 6 dice. Here we go, 6 dice. And this is the point now that we can use our advertising tokens. So we start off with 4 of these, and this is going to fix as many as we decide to spend into 5s. And that's crucial, because if you get a bad roll, you ain't going to attract tenants. And as I just mentioned, we need pairs of 5s, and we've got up to 2. So if we spent all of these now, we could guarantee at least 4 of these are going to be 5s. And that's exactly what we needed on here. I'll just remind you, you can see we're going to need 5 or better. So maybe So you're going to have to commit now. You can't roll and then change your mind. So maybe we're going to commit 2 of these tokens. So we pop 2 tokens there. We roll all these dice. And thankfully, yes, we did manage to secure 2. So what have we got now? I should add, locations next to you, ignore other neighbourhoods. It's only your neighbourhood. You can't go and sneak a benefit from this one. But we have got a +1 here, which means you can increase the dice, all of them, by +1, because that's a benefit building next to this commercial residence. And that's the only +1 we've got here, which is a shame we didn't roll any 4s. So we've got currently, 2 4s, which isn't enough because we need 5s. Those aren't enough either, but we've got 1 6. Now we have spent 2 advertising tokens to turn, 2 of these into 5. So we're going to turn that into a 5 and this one into a 5. We've got 3 dice over 5, but we need pairs of 5, so we can only take 1 tenant. Hopefully I didn't butcher that up. So we're going to go over to the property market. We're going to take, in this particular version, one of these retail units, not units, tenants. So we're going to pop that in front of us. And there we are. We discard these tokens, advertising tokens, to the board here, because that'll make a difference at the end of play. Now go to the next player, because that's their only property. These guys are up, and they are going to look at what conditions they got for their home. So we can see their home is reliant on local offices and commercial, and they're going to need 5s or better. So it's the lowest of the commercial or those. So we can see there's 4. So they're here. They got this adjacent, this one, and this one. And there's no one built on these, so they're looking here. And the commercial has got 4 little people signs, and the offices have got 6. So the lowest of the 2 is the retail. So they have 4 dice. So that determines your dice outcome. Now they need 5s as well. So we are going to commit. We're maybe going to just commit 1 advertising token. So we need, and we know we're going to be able to increase the dice by 2 because we've got 2 of these bonuses here. Now, if ever there was similar icons, let's say you built some houses here, you can only count each one once as an individual. So, if there was another house here or one of these residents that had a benefit, you can only class that as one. So what do we got? We've done well there. We've got 2 6s, a 1 and a 2. Now, we've equally committed one of these advertised tokens, so we're going to turn that to a 5. And we only needed 1 anyway, so we kind of wasted that, but we couldn't take the chance that we didn't get a tenant. So we're going to take 1 home tenant from the top here. We can see this one, and we're going to chuck that on the side. And we have managed to attract a tenant. Now, you can see that our house has only got the ability for 1, whereas you built an apartment building, you could have up to 5 tenants in there, but you can see you're going to have to spend 3 million. So a big disparity there. Okay, so again, if they had more properties, they could do the same. Now, I did forget, actually, once this player here, Greyfield, had finished attracting tenants, they should collect rent from all of their properties. So you can see this particular one is going to get them 300k. Take your money from the supply, done. So these guys equally going to get their rent as well, 300,000, done. So you can see the more tenants you have from round to round, and if you decide to, not sell this property, you're going to get 300 grand there again next round. So yeah, that is attract tenants and collect rent. Now I should add that some of these properties, I'll go and grab a few, have actually got +1s on there. So you can see, these ones here, if you see this little symbol, that is not only a +1 for your property in terms of the end value when you sell it, also gives you a +1 on the dice as well. So that's why you want to go and locate next to these, various locations that have these little plus symbols. And remember, some of them have negatives as well. If you go and build one of your residencies next to this airport here, you're going to get a -1 for each dice pip, which is, making it difficult for you to attract tenants. So thematically speaking, really well done that with these symbols around the board. Okay, so we're back around to the first action then. And this player is first. They are... What land have we got available? Where are we? So they're down here. What we got? There's no real land there to it. Maybe we want to build on this location here. Do we want to go and build a home? It's a shame we haven't got anything quite next to that one. We could build more commercial. I say commercial retail because that's adjacent there, or orthogonal. Maybe want to go and get some land here. Yeah, we'll go and purchase one of these. So for the first action, they're going to go and purchase this one, and we can see still the land price is at 300 grand. So they pay 300 grand, and we're going to add our token there. Okay, next player is up, Greyfield. So what are they going to do? Are they going to go and buy land? Maybe I could demonstrate selling. So again, we've got buying land. We've kind of shown you a few times that. Building, we've shown. Advertise. So we could go and literally take 2 tokens. And you can see we've got a big stash just out of camera. We could take 2 of these for free. No cost, but it's a whole action to do so. And if you want to buy more, you can. It's just going to cost you 500,000 K for each extra one. So we're going to take 2 of those, and that's how it goes down. Over to the second action. And what are these guys going to do? So they've not spent as many of these advertising tokens. So maybe they're going to go and get some consultancy again. Or maybe they want to sell. So if they did decide to sell this property here, let me show you how you're going to figure out the price of that. So we can see you got this sort of, I'll give you a close-up. So you're going to firstly have 1 for the land, 1 for the building, 1 for each symbol adjacent to it and next to it, and then the total number on the plot, and a negative for any of those symbols in the area. And I'll show you here. So these guys are going to get 1 for the land, another 1 for the building, that's 2. They have got this symbol here next to them, that's 3. Ignore other neighbourhoods. We've got a population of 1 there, so that is 4. We've got no negatives, so it's going to be a multiplier of the current land price, which is 300k, times the 4, means they're getting 1.2 million if they decide to sell this. But if they hold out, you can see, these prices are gradually going to go up. So when are you going to sell? So come on, let's demonstrate selling. And equally, that's 1.2 million. If they do that now, they're not going to get this rent next round. But we're going to demonstrate it just to show you how it works. So we've already figured out the multiplier. We're going to get 1.2 mil. So we get paid out that. And this token now gets removed. And it goes over to the property market. And you can see there's these little spots here. So anytime you sell something, you're stacking them up here. And they get removed at the end of the round. Okay, third action for these guys. So they got 1.2 million. They've got this plot of land here. They've already built this retail. Maybe they're going to go and build a house, because we can see when we build residency, it's all about how many of these tenants are here in terms of, not tenants, how many of these symbols are here, how many population are within those areas that dictate our dice, which means it's more attractive. There's shops nearby, and these residents are happy with that. So we're going to go and do that. We're going to go and build a house. So again, we can see that is going to cost us 400k to build that one. Let me go and grab a footprint. So we're going to place this here. We're going to take another home, put that on there, leave that development token there, pay our 400,000, and that was our final action. So Greyfield are, maybe they're going to snap up some land, maybe they're going to consult. They're a bit low on funds. So they're going to go and consult, which is currently 300 grand based on the land price. So they take their money. That was the end of a round. Now, property market. Let's show you what's happening here then. So number 1, we're looking at the remaining tenants, which are just out of camera view at the top, but you can see they're all populated. Now, if they're all populated, fine. You're not adding any sort of risk cards to the. You're not revealing any. You can see in a 2-player game, if 3 piles are remaining, you're still not revealing them. But if you get down here, if there's ever only 2 or 1 or 0, you are revealing risk cards. Okay. So number 2 then, land price. We can see it's currently in the green area. We're not adding any risk cards. But as the market gets hotter and there's higher valuations, you can see you're going to be adding more there. Number 3, advertising tokens. So we do have 3 tokens spent. And 3 tokens means we're increasing the land price by 1. Now, obviously, this would have been open information. And in terms of deciding to sell, you might have waited, because now you could have sold it at a ratio of 400,000 times the multiplier. So we remove these tokens. Number 4 then, players sold. So we can see in front of it, 1 player sold. So it's actually going to increase the price again by 2. Wow, 500 grand for the market. We then get rid of this one, so you kind of reset. Now, if no one had have sold, you could see that would have added one of those tokens there. And that was literally all 4 phases to the property market. And again, at the bottom, we're going to prepare for the next round. We're going to take 2 of these new tenant cards. And you would add, in this case, we've got, what have we got? 2 basic retail and 2 new homes. You just stash those at the top. And then we'd add some more for sale signs. You take 3 from the box. And what have we got? We got 4F. So we're looking at these numbers. Oh, we've got another one there. That could work out for them. We've got 5C. Okay, yeah, next to some industry there. And finally 3A, which is over here. And then we reset this back around and you keep going, folks. Now, the synergy of these tenants you're attracting and based on various properties that are built and this sort of interaction amongst how things are developed influences where it is attractive for your tenants and how easy it is to attract tenants. Absolutely fascinating. And it's really nice that you've got this sort of pre-setup in the middle to get you started. These are very varied from game to game in the locations and how it works out. They're generally quite balanced, but you can see, depending on what industries you're trying to build in and where these for sale signs come up about and how you're having to maybe purchase land at double the price and when to sell, because when you get round to that property market stage here again and you do start revealing these, you can see you got a host of zeros. You got them all upside down, zeros, -1s, you got -3s in there as well. So a bit of luck as to what you reveal. You know, a -3, this goes down, and you're getting to a point in time where as this gets closer to a potential crash, how quickly are you going to sell out? Because you can see the more you sell, the more chances, well, definitely more cards are going to come out. The more tenants you've attracted, you know, more cards are going to come out. The higher the property prices are, the more cards come out. So you've got this interesting balance between how to make the most out of the income, when to the rental income, when to sell. Are you going to reinvest those profits again to try and make more profits? Are you just going to retain them and hope everyone else, you know, gets caught out by the crash? And I should add, you know, you're going to stack these, the ones you've revealed, keep them aside, and at the very end of the game, once, let me just take a whole bunch of them, once this marker here, it's 0, that is the end. You're going to be revealing all these cards, and let me get them in order, and you're going to add up all these numbers at the bottom. So what we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're then going to reduce wherever the current market price was by 5, and then everyone is going to sell out any properties they've sort of not managed to sell in time at that current price. You do the usual multipliers. So this house here, you know, 1 for the land, 2 for the property, 3 for that symbol there, 4 for that one, but it'd only be 4 times the 700 grand rather than, you know, wherever it was up here. You add up all the money, and whoever has the most money is the winner of the game. There we are, folks. Enjoy.